Hello and welcome to Penny's Kitchen. We're going to talk about what we're going to have for dinner tonight. We plan to have sweet potato casserole, collard greens, rice, and a special K-loaf. I forgot that quick. Have mercy. So what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and get started in preparing our special K-loaf. I used a extra firm tofu. I drained the tofu. I crumbled it into the bowl. Then I added some ground walnuts. I think it was about a half a cup that we ground in a food processor. Then we ground a half of a large onion and ground that up, or chopped it up. I put it in the bowl. We stirred all of that stuff up, and then we added half a cup of butter that was melted. Put that in the bowl. Then we used corn flakes instead of Special K. We put 2 cups in there. We stirred it up and we sort of chopped it a little bit. And I also added 2 eggs in there. And so after we did all of that, we put it in the pan and we put it in the oven. So the walnuts I put in my little food processor. It equals up to about a half a cup of walnuts. So you put it in and you grind. And once it looks like it's ground pretty good, then you should be okay. As you can see, I have a little helper who's standing here with me, if you see her. And that's my baby, Abigail. And she's 2 years old and she's already in the kitchen. And it's good to have kids in the kitchen because hopefully they'll love what they're eating and want to eat the food and whatnot, because they are sort of the helper. So we have the walnuts, we have the tofu, and we have onions. Now all I'm going to do is get the cornflakes that I left in the pantry. The main ingredient. You'll have to eat that. It's called Special K-loaf because you usually use Special K cereal, but I got cornflakes. So what we're going to do is, you also need butter. I do about a half a cup of butter that I microwave, and it's in the microwave, and I'm going to take it out the microwave now. Now we need to season it because there's no seasoning in it at all. There's nothing. You're like, yeah, where are the seasonings? Well, if you don't want any in there, it'll be a little on the bland side. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt. And then I use sea salt. You can get several different kinds of sea salt. I'm also going to do a nature seasoning blend. Get down, boo-boo. And I just circle it around for a few seconds, and I will stir it. It looks really good. And that's pretty much all you have to do. And now I'm going to put a little bit more in there because I stirred it. And with tofu takes on the flavor of what is in it. So we have to make sure that there's enough seasoning in it. And so I'm just going to use this knife to taste it. It tastes pretty good. Yeah. And my cooking oil has olive oil in it, so I'm going to spray it. Abigail, move for a second so I can spray. And for my off-the-scene camera people, I got two other children that are helping. They are on the cameras. I have a 6-year-old we call RJ, and I have an 8-year-old that we call Danielle. What I did with the sweet potato casserole is I boiled the sweet potatoes. So I had to get some sweet potatoes. I peeled them, and then I chopped them in half so it wouldn't take so long to cook. And I boiled them on the stove while I was making preparations for my Special K. So once we got once the sweet potatoes got cooked and everything, and they were nice and soft, I put them in the colander, and just drain the water out, put them in our bowl, and then what we did was with a bowl, I basically mashed the potatoes like you would mash sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes. I mashed them, and then I added a cup of sugar. I had a half a cup of melted butter that we placed in the microwave so it could melt. And then we also added 2 eggs, a half a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring, and we mixed that all together. We stirred it really good, and then we put it in the oven. The oven was set for 350 degrees, but I turned it up to 375 when I had both the Special K and the sweet potatoes in there. Okay, so we are back, and we are ready to see how our Special K loaf looks. So now, I think it's time to see what it is and how it looks, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and take it out because it is ready. It should be golden brown, and it looks brown, golden brown. I'm going to leave the sweet potato casserole in there for a few more moments. And so here is our final product. The Special K loaf, it looks really great. And what we're going to do is I'm going to just sit it on here. Now, are you ready to see what the sweet potatoes look like? I'm looking forward to that. Here we go. And as you can see, it's bubbling. And it did not spill out or anything. Like I said, it wouldn't. Let me close that oven. And here we go with our sweet potato. And it's like a little pudding. It's ready. This is something that we serve as part of our dinner and not something that's a dessert, okay? So this is our sweet potato casserole, and what I'm going to do is to sit it down before it goes through my oven mitts and gets too hot. And so now we have those 2 things, and they are ready, and their kids are ready to eat. And the other thing that I have on the stove are collard greens and rice. Like 2 bags of collard greens from the grocery store. And I put the collard greens in there after I had steamed them and washed them. De-stemmed them and washed them. I put them on the stove and let them cook, and I put a little bit of olive oil and some salt in there, and that's pretty much all I did. They're sitting in the back here, and then we have rice, and rice is very easy. 2 cups water, 1 cup rice. Let the water come to a boil, put the rice in, if salt or whatever you want to add for seasoning, and voila, you're done. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. I hope this is a blessing for you as you continue your journey in eating healthy. Thanks, and may God bless. Bye-bye.